Hey, Alessandra. I'm going to go over your test. Thank you for sending that my way. I'm just going to pull up the images here. Okay. So, good news. Number one went well. Congratulations. You totally nailed that problem. There we go. Okay. Um, yes, hopefully you can see my screen. Hold on. Yes, I'm sharing my screen. So this is the two inequalities you're graphing, and you definitely graphed. -5 and -2, the vertex, solid, pointing down, shaded below it. Um, the other one is, okay, actually, no, I take it back. That was not done correctly. Okay, let's back up here a little bit. Um, yeah, actually, the graph is pretty off. Okay, so your vertex is -5, 2. So -5, 2 is right here, and it's pointing down, and it's solid. Just need that. And looking at your response, actually, never mind. That is fine. Okay, I take it back. That was actually fine. Um, the other graph was wrong. So those x-intercepts are -6 and -4, not +6 and +4, right? You got to put -6 and -4. Please be mindful about that. So if you do that, that should be -6 and -4. And then -5 is the x-intercept. That would be -1. And it's dashed. So it looks like this. And you're gonna shade above the pink, but below the brown. So it's going to be right in between. So because you have one of the graphs off, that threw everything else off. So just make sure you're careful of the x-intercepts and you shade correctly. Um, looks like you were shading above, which is good. You were doing that, but I think you got mixed up because you knew to shade below the other one. So okay, so actually you weren't that far off. I take it back. Now this one here. Um, Thank you for writing the equation here. You square in both sides. You factor correctly. You have 4 and -1, and both work. So you nailed that one. Good work on that one. Um, for part B, let's take a look at part B. So you get 9 and -3. -3 does not work. That's extraneous because if you plug in -3, you get -6 here. Plug in -3, you get 6 here. Those don't equal each other. So make sure you're always checking your work. Very important. Check your work after you're done and check for extraneous solutions. Don't assume it's true because it just comes out as an answer. You have to check your work. So please check for extraneous solutions. The instructions, I think, even probably said that. Yes, you got to watch out for that. And it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, 100% guarantee you're going to see that. So make sure you check your work. Okay, for number three, I don't think you're going to see that. That was something we did specific to last year, so I don't think that's. But I think you got the graph right. Yeah, so you have if you get y by itself, you get y equals y over 3 equals -x squared plus 2 multiplied by 3, -3x squared plus 6. So you definitely have the vertex correct, but you have it pointing down the wrong way. Should be pointing down actually, right? Not pointing up. Should be pointing down because it's negative. The exponential function, that is correct. That's fine. Don't worry about. I'm not. I don't think you're gonna see that because it's not on your study guide. So we'll just move on. For four, I think that was fine. We'll check. Yep. And if you plug in, we get to height of 45. Actually, your y coordinate of your vertex is off. It should be 45, right? Because that's the highest point. So it's not 105. Remember, 105 was the x-intercept, which you did correct to get the x-coordinate of the vertex. So that's 45, 45, 45. That's going to throw A off, and A should be negative, by the way, because it's pointing down. So if you ever get A that's positive and the graph's pointing down, you know you made a mistake somewhere. You know you made a careless error, and you totally made one with that. So right now, I'm noticing three mistakes, actually four mistakes, and we haven't gone through half the test yet. You graphed that parabola wrong because you had the wrong x-intercepts because it should be -4, -6. Two was perfect. B was almost perfect, but you didn't check -3. Even though I don't think you'll see a problem like three. your graph for the parabola is always be pointing down because a negative a value. And for 4, the x-coordinate vertex is not correct, right? It's got to be 45. I'm not sure why I see 1 times 5 up there, but an a value should be negative. Okay, now let's look at the other part. For 5, okay, let's see here. You have the y-intercept correct. Okay, you got to do negative b over 2a. You're not doing that. Remember, you got to do negative b over 2a, right? If it's a standard form, negative b over 2a. So it's negative 32 over 2 times 16. Oh, negative 16, my bad. So it's negative 32 over negative 32. So it should be 1. So I should be at 1 there. And plug 1 back into the equation to get the y-coordinate of the vertex, which should be 22. So the height before it leaves is definitely 6. The maximum is definitely 22. 22 feet. Don't forget units. And then for D, how long is the balloon in the air? So you got to just set the equation equals 0 and solve for x, right? Or t in this case. The best way to do that is to use quad form. So just, remember t equals negative b, which is negative 32, plus or minus. You have to use your calculator for this. 32 squared minus 4 times negative 60. Make sure you're punching everything in correctly in the calculator. And kind of do it one piece at a time. Don't try to do it all at once because that's when you get yourself in trouble. So calculate the 4 times negative 16 times 6 first, then do 32 squared, then subtract the two values, root it, then add to negative 32, subtract to negative 32, and then divide by 2 times negative 16. That's how you do part D. Okay, these problems here, I think you got that one right. Subtract 9 is negative 8, dividing the 2 is 4, root it. But you got to put plus or minus though when you root it. So it's 7 plus 2, so 9 works. Also, 7 minus 2, 5 would also work. If you plug in 5, you get negative 4. 2 squares 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 plus 9 is 1. That makes sense. For part B, I think you got that one. Yeah, you nailed that one. Good work on that one there. Um, let's see here. So still check the math. So yeah, subtract the 3y, subtract the xy, pull out the x. Yeah, you're good. For C, so you got to factor afterwards. I believe everything was done correctly in terms of combining stuff. Remember, you get negative 80 up top, negative 11 down below. That's negative 16 and 5. So you 2x squared minus 16x plus 5x minus 40 equals 0. Factor by grouping. Factor out 2x, you get x minus 8. Factor out 5, you get x minus 8. You get 2x plus 5 and x minus 8. X is negative 5 halves, and x is 8. So just make sure you do the diamond, a times c, and then put b down below. What multiplies to the top and bottom, multiplies a times c and adds a b. And I think that was it. Okay, I'll stop the video and share with you. Good luck to you.